Daddy, why is everyone walking past them? The rain had softened to a gentle mist on Fifth Avenue, turning the sidewalk into a mirror of blurred city lights. Ethan crouched beside his 4-year-old son, Mason, watching two little girls in matching red dresses standing perfectly still near a storefront window. Their tiny hands moved in elegant patterns, signing to each other, but every passerby simply walked around them, as if they were invisible. Ethan's throat tightened. He knew that feeling too well. "Sometimes, buddy," he said quietly, brushing rain from Mason's hood, "people don't see what's right in front of them. Come on." He took Mason's hand and approached the twins. Their blonde curls caught the lamplight as they looked up at him with identical blue eyes. Curious, but guarded. Ethan knelt down and signed slowly, deliberately. "Hello, are you lost?" Both girls gasped. One immediately signed back, her small fingers flying. "You can talk to us?" Ethan smiled, his heart breaking a little. "Yes. Where's your mom?" Before they could answer, heels clicked rapidly behind them. "Emma! Lily!" A young woman in a cream suit rushed forward, her professional composure cracking into visible relief. She dropped to her knees, pulling both girls close, then looked up at Ethan with tears threatening to spill. "Thank you! God, thank you! I turned around for 2 seconds." "They're okay," Ethan said gently, standing. "They were just talking to each other. I know." The woman's voice caught. She signed something quick to the girls, then stood, extending her hand. "I'm Charlotte Hayes. These are my daughters. Ethan Brooks. This is Mason." He paused, registering the exhaustion in her eyes, the way her hands trembled slightly. "You're their mom?" "And apparently the world's worst one today." Charlotte laughed, but it came out hollow. She signed to the twins again, something about staying close, then looked back at Ethan. "How do you know ASL?" Ethan hesitated. The rain picked up again, and Charlotte instinctively pulled her daughters closer. "Long story," he said finally, "but there's a coffee shop around the corner. You all look like you could use somewhere dry." 20 minutes later, steam rose from 4 hot chocolates at a corner table. Emma and Lily sat between Charlotte and Mason, signing enthusiastically about the marshmallows floating in their cups. Mason watched, fascinated, occasionally mimicking their hand movements with endearing clumsiness. "He's a natural," Charlotte said softly, watching Mason. Then she turned to Ethan. "Most people they don't even try, even family sometimes." Ethan wrapped his hands around his coffee mug. "My wife was deaf." The past tense hung in the air. Charlotte's expression shifted, understanding dawning without pity. "I'm sorry." 3 years now. Car accident. Ethan glanced at Mason, who was attempting to sign dinosaur to the delighted twins. "She taught me to sign before Mason was born. She said our son needed to grow up knowing there were different ways to speak, different ways to be heard." Charlotte's eyes glistened. "She sounds like she was remarkable." She was. Ethan smiled, but it carried weight. "When she died, everyone told me I should move on, date, find Mason a normal family." His jaw tightened. "Like what we had wasn't enough." "People are idiots!" Charlotte's voice was fierce. She glanced at her daughters. "I got pregnant at 24. The father left when he found out they were deaf. Said he didn't sign up for damaged goods." Her hands clenched around her cup. "I built my career from nothing. I'm CEO of Hayes Marketing now, because I wanted them to have everything. But some days," her voice cracked, "some days I wonder if I'm giving them what they really need. Me, present, not just providing." Ethan watched Emma sign something to Lily that made both girls giggle. "You ran after them in heels, in the rain. You're here. That's not nothing." "But I almost lost them. I was on my phone, checking emails, and they just—" Her breath hitched. "What kind of mother?" "The human kind." Ethan's voice was firm but kind. "You think I don't mess up? Last week, Mason wore his pajamas to preschool because I forgot it was picture day. Being a single parent is like trying to juggle while someone keeps throwing more balls at you. Charlotte laughed, a real one this time. That's painfully accurate. Mason tugged at Ethan's sleeve. He was signing something, his small face serious. Ethan's eyes widened. Buddy, you sure? Mason nodded firmly. What? Charlotte asked. Ethan smiled. He wants to know if Emma and Lily can come to the park tomorrow. He says they should play together because... Ethan's voice softened. Because everybody needs friends who understand. Charlotte looked at her daughters, then at Mason, then at Ethan. Something shifted in her expression. A wall coming down. The park sounds perfect. What started as one play date became 2, then 5, then a routine. Saturdays in Central Park. Ethan would pack sandwiches, Charlotte brought fruit and those expensive juice boxes Mason loved. The children would play while the adults talked, really talked, about the loneliness of single parenthood, the guilt, the fear of not being enough. One evening, 6 weeks in, Charlotte arrived at the park with red eyes. Ethan immediately stood from the bench. What happened? Board meeting, she said, voice tight. They want me to relocate to London. 3-year contract. Incredible opportunity. She watched Emma and Lily on the swings, Mason pushing them gently. The kind of career move people dream about. But she gestured helplessly at the children, at Ethan, at the whole scene. This, community, someone who understands. The girls have never bonded with anyone like they have with Mason. And I've never felt less alone than when I'm... She stopped, cheeks flushing. I don't know what I'm saying. Say it anyway. When I'm with you, Charlotte whispered. I don't feel broken when I'm with you. I feel... seen. Ethan reached for her hand. Charlotte, I spent 3 years thinking I'd used up my chance at this, at connection. Everyone said I should move on, but how do you move on from someone who taught you how to truly see people? He squeezed her fingers. Then I met you, and Emma and Lily, and I realized maybe moving on isn't about forgetting. Maybe it's about carrying that love forward, letting it teach you to love differently, but just as deeply. Charlotte's tears spilled over. I'm terrified. Me too, Ethan smiled. But I watched you that first day running through the rain for your daughters. That's not someone who makes scared decisions. That's someone who leads with her heart. What if I turn down London and it's a mistake? What if you take it and miss this? He gestured at the children, now building a sandcastle together, their laughter mixing with the city sounds. Charlotte looked at him, really looked at him. Then she laughed, shaky but genuine. My therapist would be so proud of me right now. Mine too, Ethan grinned. 2 months later, Charlotte stood in her office on a Friday evening, typing an email. Subject, London position, final decision. Her hands hovered over the keyboard. A photo frame sat on her desk. Emma, Lily, Mason, and Ethan at the zoo. All 4 children pressed together, grinning. In the picture, Mason was signing family, while the twins mimicked him. Charlotte typed, "Thank you for this opportunity, but I must respectfully decline. I've recently learned that success isn't just how high you climb, it's who's climbing beside you." She pressed send. The park was golden with late afternoon sun when Ethan arrived the next Saturday. Charlotte was already there, the girls running toward Mason with excited signs. She looked lighter somehow, freer. I said no to London, she said without preamble. Yeah? Ethan's face split into a smile. Yeah, Charlotte stepped closer. Turns out my kids don't need London. They need this. They need you and Mason. They need to grow up seeing that kindness isn't just a word, it's a choice we make every single day. Emma tugged Charlotte's hand, signing something urgently. What is she saying? Ethan asked. Charlotte's eyes filled with happy tears. She's asking if you and Mason are her family now. Ethan knelt down, looking at both twins. He signed carefully. Family isn't just who you're born to. It's who shows up, who stays, who learns your language. He glanced up at Charlotte, then at Mason. Yes, we're family. Mason threw his arms around all three girls. See, Daddy, I told you. Everybody needs friends who understand. Ethan pulled Charlotte into the embrace, his voice thick. You did, buddy. You absolutely did. Charlotte rested her head on Ethan's shoulder, watching their children play in the fading light. Your wife taught you to see people. Thank you for teaching me that it's never too late to be seen. And thank you, Ethan replied softly, for reminding me that the bravest thing we can do is stay, even when the world tells us to walk past. In a world that often rushes by, real connection happens when we stop,
Notice and speak in whatever language reaches the heart. Kindness isn't complicated. It's simply choosing to see each other. And that choice changes everything. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Let's spread more stories of kindness and hope together.